Yes, you can say.
Thank you.
Ladies first.
I'm honored, dear. Thank you so much. I'm really humbled, my dear friend, Doctor, to be here and meet an analyst. I know I'll pick a lot for my people of Terego. Terego is a district that was the last district created, and the most rural MP in that parliament, because Terego has not got the chance to grow like other districts. So I always take the chance, and I take advantage to reach everywhere so that I'm able to make my people grow. I'm so excited to be here. I'll give the views and the position of the most rural youth of this country. Thank you so much, Vila.
Yeah, it's a pleasure once again. I welcome you out. Terego, it looks to be you have
very good schools. I'm just in love with the way how you are articulating issues. At least no one can comment and say our MP is not doing well.
in Terego, even the oldest, the one you think is in rags knows English.
That's very wonderful.
We speak good English.
That's wonderful. Yes, Mr. Alex, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. Good evening to our viewers, our listeners. I know with technology, there could also be people who are listening to us. I'm happy to be part of this show this evening, discussing a critical issue that affects a bigger percentage of our population. And I'm happy to share this platform with the Honorable Laws from Terego District. Thank you, Doctor, once again for this opportunity.
You too. It's a pleasure to have you. And we are referring to a number of reports with us. We come with this talk show not just for purpose of debate, but with an intention to analyze critical issues at hand that affecting our community, that affecting our country. And it's very clear one of the challenges that this country continues to face, we face unemployment. And of recent, dear guests and viewers, it's very clear that a lot has been done, especially by my fellow countrymen and countrywomen, trying and ensuring support is given to some of our intending youth, especially the age bracket of the youth, while seeking for jobs beyond Uganda, beyond the boundaries of Uganda, and across especially to the Arabia countries, the Eastern Asian countries. And whereas it wouldn't have been maybe a bad practice, but a lot is desirable to be looked at if we as a country, we are to move forward. In the first place, it is very important to know that as a country, whereas we have over 79% of youth who are of that age bracket, over the 45 million Ugandans, and the around 25, the age bracket, it stretches between, as we talk about 15 years to 35 to 30 years. And that leaves us with a serious concern, especially as concerned citizens. And as I discuss here, we have one of the members of parliament to look at, in policy-wise, what exactly should be done to resolve the unemployment question. We know the government have attempted to come up with a number of programs. We are not saying that the government has done nothing, but the problem has insisted on. I recall during 2016 elections, the NRM government, the NRM political party, while soliciting votes, of course for another mandate, it was focusing on ensuring job creation. But jobs remains a big challenge. And also, it's of a report that we have here that was presented by Forward Day with a concern during 2019, after realizing that we have around over 100 agencies that are participating in recruiting our children, our young daughters, our young, the old and those who are still in the active age to work, to go and work from abroad. And yet it is believed the story with us is not at all good. On the parliamentary floor, I recall such matter was raised in a matter of national importance. And of recent, we continue to hear reports that are not pleasing to Ugandans, especially relating to human trafficking and also the sale of human organs, especially in those countries where it has happened. That's why we bring this topic for discussion. It's a pleasure to have you, Honorable Member of Parliament, and you'll come back from all the activities and the travels you've been, engaging through. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. I want to agree with you. There is really total rampant youth unemployment, which ranges from 60% to 70% of youth who qualify every year, who should be getting into useful sectors to add to the economy and to also better their lives. But the challenge we have is attitude. Attitude, mindset change. We should start having business. And be used punishment in schools in Terego when you mess up and something. The next they give you a hole you go and dig. Now, if punishment digging, then this is something that is inhuman, degrading. So I will take it. Farming is not what it can give me employment. A bag right in Terego. A bag is around 100,000 Ugandan shillings. You can get not less than 20 bags. Now, how much is that? It's capital enough. 2, the unemployment of youth also goes back to skilling. The education sector needs to reorganize itself. Yes, curriculum is changed now and then, but are they trying to position the youth to be self-reliant, customer care? A youth will start a business here, and this business has no customer care. Like in my village, if you say in Kampala you can negotiate, dare to go and negotiate in Terego, you'll run mad. Because if you want to buy, if you don't want to buy, go. I did not bring it here for you. So that customer care should really be in the front line. Again, the issue of copyright and neighbor right. So many youths have gone into music, but you find this music being played and misused by everyone. So can we protect these youths so that whatever they have come with is really protected and it gives them an earning? Drug abuse. You find mothers and parents don't care. They don't care. You don't know when your child leaves and when your child comes back. When I was growing up, my dad would say, I used to be a netballer. Actually, with my height, once I put my hand like this, you can go, you're finished. I'll push it back.
Yes.
But you can imagine my father would say, just because a boy is getting to me, you're not going to play. The school will come to plead with my father. Then I'll tell them, if my father is not okay, I cannot go. But these days, which parent can say in the villages? I mean, I'm talking for the rural youth. They just walk in and walk out. Too much abuse of drugs. Again, these youths who go to the Arab world, I speak from an experience point of view. I lived in Khartoum, I've been to Dubai, I've been to Saudi Arabia. It's an insult.
Awesome.
This last time we were in Dubai, we went because of this. You are raped. In the Arab world, you can marry I can marry the last born of my mom or my dad. So they don't care. Now when they bring you to work for them, you are sexually abused, you are raped like madness.
Oh, sorry.
Now these companies that take these girls want to do a secretive business. They exploit them because first, before you go, you pay a colossal sum of money to these companies, and then when you go, they don't want to know because they're making money. Can Ugandans become patriotic and treat each other humanly? and get to know that this person I'm sending can even tomorrow have a company. So why should we tie ourselves on specifically on the world? I sit on Human Rights Committee. We called for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, we called for Ministry of Gender to give accountability of any Ugandan who lives in the names of job. I can tell you these people did not have of agriculture, maybe aligned with Australia, aligned with Canada, where these youths go during a certain period of time, summer, but they don't have labor. You know, ministers should stop being fishermen. Really, work should be done because we want to sort out the issue of youth unemployment. We don't need fishermen. We need people who can give focus and a direction to this country and say, Your Excellency, here is what I've come with on table. So we have youths who can go there, come with a lot of money. A lot of money after putting labor and a lot of expertise because mindset change. Here is work, but it's very interesting when these people leave Uganda and go to work elsewhere. Superb. Because people think food is provided. By the way, in most parts of my district, it's believed food is a right. Food is a right. So, and it's true, food is a right. But it is good to say thank you after eating food.
Oh, of course.
Well, it's a privilege.
So, so I remember I used to supervise the district development officer, community development officer. Now, everything he'll do for me that he's like an assistant commissioner or commissioner. So anything I'll say, oh, thank you so much, sir. He said, this is Secretary J, who is my boss. Every time, I'm sorry that I've come a little late. Oh, sorry, I didn't, you know. But these words are not there. So the youth, first of all, should remain consistent and persistent. This thing of giving up quickly cannot take them anywhere.
And so you had talked about mindset change as well. I want to appreciate you. You are very, solid. The first solid, submission. And that's why I couldn't interrupt you at all. I will just reserve some questions for you in the second session. We'll be having a commercial break in the second few minutes. But we'd like to first welcome Mr. Alex. Ndugu Alex, please. It's a pleasure to hear your submission. But in the next session, we'll be having an interaction with the questions I'm noting. Thank you. You are welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. And thank you, Honorable, for that wonderful submission. We are addressing about 3 or 4 issues in one statement. There's the issue of youth unemployment, and then there's the issue of liberalization of labor export market.
Exactly.
So, in my view, the starting point is that labor export has come up to address a symptom, to address an issue, address a symptom of a bigger issue. And the bigger issue is actually the youth unemployment. So we need to do some little bit of situation analysis that my honorable member of parliament referred to. Government has come up with a number of programs, including Emyoga, Entandikwa, Operation Wealth Creation, name them, NADS. All these are geared towards creating employment in the economy. But what is the situation like? Why have these programs not created adequate jobs to accommodate our youth? As we speak today, the youth unemployment in this country is in alarming percentages. Over 70% of youth that qualify to work in this country cannot find employment. Statistics show us that over 400,000 youth are churned out of different institutions of learning, seeking for jobs.
Yes.
And our economy is not growing at that pace to create adequate jobs.
Yes.
So there's a very big challenge that we need to address. And like you talked about, you hinted on it at the start of the program that 70% of our population are youth.
Yes.
If we consider if we take Uber's figures, our population now is about 45 million Ugandans.
Yes, sir.
So if you do 70% of 45 million, you are talking about 31 million Ugandans. Now, if you categorize, you find about 18 million Ugandans are youth who qualify to get jobs. But these youth cannot actually find jobs. So this is a very big issue that any serious government cannot sit on. It's actually a bubble that, if not addressed properly, honorable, can explode anytime. And it's incumbent upon the government, the private sector, our leadership, to create an enabling environment for jobs to be found for the young people. So for me, one of the things that needs to be done, research has demonstrated, according to World Bank and various studies have been done, and they confirm that Uganda has strong competitive advantage. So we, as a country, we need to give reasonable attention to agriculture. As we speak today, this agriculture we are talking about employs over 70% of Ugandans. And between you and me, you know that a significant portion of our people stay in the rural areas. And it's where agriculture is a main source of employment. So deliberate efforts need to be taken to remove bottlenecks towards commercialization of agriculture. Now, what are these bottlenecks? One of them is, can you access low-cost credit to support agriculture? We are talking about the theme for the budget for this financial year, 2022-2023. The key theme for this budget is commercialization of agriculture. But when you speak about commercialization of agriculture, have you addressed the issue of low-cost capital? You cannot commercialize agriculture without access to low-cost financing. You cannot finance agriculture with commercial credit because the dynamics of agriculture are totally different from trade and any other commerce. So we need to address that. We need to address the issue of technology. Why is, for example, hunger in the Karamoja region? Why is there hunger in some of the other parts of the country? Or why do we have significant post-harvest losses? It's because there is low adoption of technology. Have we addressed significant issues of irrigation? So why I'm addressing the issue, why I'm speaking so passionately about the issue of agriculture, agriculture is a very big industry. That if you focus on it, the value chain is wrong. You have the farmer, you have the manufacturer, you have the trader, you have the exporter, and that whole chain creates jobs. So for me, agriculture is one of the enterprises that will quickly address this challenge. And then, of course, we need to address the issue of mindset change. When I talk about it briefly, you realize that studies have shown that the young people connect entrepreneurship to people who did not go to school. Those who have gone to school, the young people, a significant portion of them think that they are meant for white-collar jobs. That for you to be an entrepreneur, you need to have not acquired a lot of education. Finding you a professor, a doctor like you doing business, to a young person, it's a distortion. And these are some of the serious beliefs, serious values, and norms that we need to tackle if we are to address the issue of youth unemployment. So for me, before we attack or before we criticize the labor export companies, we need to tackle the reasons why are these young people working very hard to leave their country. It is sad that a young person will go and sell a piece of land
True.
up country, say at 10, 15 million, come and pay it to a labor export market to go to Dubai and do casual work. I can tell you from a finance perspective that 10, 15 million is serious capital. It is significant capital. So we need to address the push factors, because there is something that is pushing these young people to run away from Uganda. And as long as they keep running, as long as we continue to encourage our young people to run out of Uganda, we are also encouraging brain drain. We are also depleting our country of key resources that would have remained here to participate in national building. So for me, we need to tackle the issue of mindset change. We need to address the bottlenecks in, that are hampering our agricultural development. Then we need to deal with the issue of skills enhancement.
We are going to go into the details of those interventions. I was very much attentive to your first, submission, indeed, which was situation analysis. And you brought it out rightly, what exactly is happening and what then ought to be done. Dear viewers and listeners of Smart 24 TV, as we drive business, stay tuned. We'll go for a commercial break and we'll continue this discussion where we'll go into the in-depth of the interventions that may be provided by whosoever matters, the government, the stakeholders, the private sector, and including us as we come as media. We bring this platform as, a platform of problem solving, not lamentation or criticizing, but to critically analyze and propose the solution, possible solution. Thank you. Stay tuned on Smart 24 TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.